Now, a budget there, sometimes the NDC will to make maybe no one can some proof. And the proof is already in the Parliament of Ghana. And so, what about public and now can some different? What for me, I put my family kuska. No call what I'm saying, my trouble did chat or ye MPP for what did see one in ano. Mirackes Aboagye. Onya Akunya Katan radio, the Waka can send me now. Hey, me huni bida. I have never in my life seen something before.
As a deeper 1,000 net away, I can't do.
And the president service now, I'm going to call Nese. The number of president service, I'm going to it's about 1,000 Megwana.
Come on, microphone.
It's not about 1,000. 900 something Megwana. It's about 1,000 Megwana.
No, Waka, so be at it. The microphone is on.
Okay,
so don't
distract me.
Obi, let me set the record here and set it straight. And I'm very sad to say Lawyer Chum is a lawyer. He knows it. But Ojina politics is leading to a certain point. It is never true. Never true that in this government there are 1,000 presidential staffers. It is a lie. And your falsehood. And try NDC future for years. Oh, I beg you, don't distract me. Let me make my point. It is never true. I have in my hands my sample report. When you say every year, beginning of the year, presidents we had this report in Parliament. And the other one said these things are documented in Parliament. The MPs no war. But I'm not twisting. Obi, 2010, and I beg you to give me time. Why? Because I'm so confident on the kind. Obi, 2010. Said Professor Mills. The total number of staff at the presidency, and you see, we need to teach the public so that everybody will understand. I can say educate the public. The total number of staff at the presidency is 748. President Mills, 2010, 13 years ago, 748. Out of that, Nobi, ministers of state at the presidency in 2010, no more 6. Presidential staffers, Obi, I had some in the year, presidential staffers under President Mills, now 27. Other political appointees, 91. Public sector employees, 624. Obi, it is never true that when you go to the Jubilee House, there are 1,000 presidential service. You see, and people assume, I say, watchman no jina bank here woman see. Okofi or more bank, it's from the banker. Not everybody working at the presidency is a presidential staffer. When you pick the law that establishes the office of the presidency, there were category of staff that are called presidential staffers. And you'll be more presidency, and you're friend of presidential staffer. See, a more appointment, you are given an appointment as a presidential staffer. It is different from cleaner. Oh, you do more presidency. It is different from IT support. Oh, you do more presidency. It is different from secretary. Oh, you do more presidency. Me a presidential staffer. But under the night, don't go for the 2021. I think what I have here is the 2021 report. Minister of State at the presidency. I'm not go for the 2021. One Minister of State. As at 2010, can I 6. 2010, na 6. John Atamils, na 6. I'm not go for the 1. Presidential staff is 44. 44. Obi, let it be put on record. There are no 1,000 presidential staffers at the office of the president. 44. 94.7. 44. There are other political appointees. 292. 292. Until the 44 no, Ebeka 292 no. And they count one minister of state at the presidency no one. The total political appointees at the presidency is 337. Under John Dramani Mahama. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in 2016. OBTA. Minister of State at the presidency as at 2016. Minister of State at the presidency. This is the year John Mahama left office. Now was 6 ministers of state at the presidency. OBTA 6. Nana Akufo-Addo has 1. 6. Presidential staffers and John Mahama are 61. 6-1. Nana Akufo-Addo has 44. Presidential service and Akufo-Addo 44. John Mahama there 61. Other political appointees are 118. Nanado there 292. And then we have what we call public sector appointees. Almost civil servants. Obi 2021. Almost 658. These are not politicians. You have no civil service in the post. Any post mobile presidency. Nanado beko. Dr. Baumia Beba, Omeoho. So I just say, John Mahama Koya, civil servants, or your accountant, or your cleaner, or your gardener, or your stenographer. They are your politicians. 658. John Mahama in 2016. Now public sector civil servant. 712. Obi 712 under John Dramani Mahama in 2016. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2021 658. Nobody should do this to the people of Ghana. Sure. Let us know copies. This is dated 30th July 2010. When you open this document, which goes to Parliament this year, 2023, 2022, catering division, where Atame was new, or 43 catering division, or staff 43, your political appointees, your public servants, or seamstress
FM,
or seamstress 5, your political appointees, your civil servants, or washermen, or messengers, or librarians, or stewards, Department of Parks and Gardens, no, NIPA 51. Ghana Health Service, NIPA 17. Controller and Accountant General for NIPA 17. Audit Service, 10. Fire Service, 44. Public Works Department, Omoho Prestige, 52. Ghana Post, our staff, 2. Obilesta Kauni. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 22nd March 2018. Obi, and also some reports on our Parliament. Ubia Chief Directors, your politicians, 2. Administrative class, your politicians, 21. Executive and clerical class, they are not politicians, 18. Records, 32. Ebasa, budget, supply and materials management, internal audit, IT, programmer, research, they are all not politicians. Department of Parks and Gardens, 98. Ghana Health Service, 46. Controller and Accountant General, 13. Audit Service, 7. Ghana National Fire Service, 61. Public Works Department, 64. Telecom, Telephone Exchange, Ghana Post, Okani Nemboma, now 706. These are not politicians. These are not politicians. 706. They are public servants. It is how better TV Sonaka Radio so can say, the part 1,000 a good presidency. First of all, either you are ignorant or you know, but you are deliberately trying to mislead the public. Because of the idea, and MPP NDC has this. MPP has this, and that's why I've shown you records of both Professor Tamils and then the friend is saying Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And I'm just telling you, sir, this is John Dramani Mahama's statistics. Over 6 ministers of state at the presidency. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 1. President Mahama, no, was 61 presidential staffers. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 44. Me, I'm a presidential staffer. But not everybody at the office of the president is a presidential staffer. Until nobody should ever say it anywhere, say, and that there are 1,000 presidential staffers at the office of the president. If you say it like lawyer knows, he's not ignorant, he knows, but he's deliberately trying to mislead the public. Obi, the other issue, if we are asking for, the friend is saying, downsizing of government, the way our governance is structured, then we are asking for public servants to be laid off. Because like I've just shown you, 195-year-old office of the president, you know, it moves 700 public servants.
94.7.
So the make 700 public servants. And really, if you say we should cut down the size at the office of the president, then you're asking us to sack public servants. If that is the case, let's have that conversation. Professor John Dramani Mahama list 897. 897 no emu 69 ministers of state, presidential services 61, other political appointees are normal cake 118. Obi public servants 712. So maybe the 712 is what we are talking about. There is another thing. Some other government appointees 118 292 Yami Koti and another, and then John Dramani Mahama. Obi scholarship secretariat Kingsley Munina, they are part of Sadita no. Maslok. Into come Masloka, some more Maslok, director of communication, be all Maslok, or Kasa, other appointees. Anything that I offer list now, when you take this list, you realize that there is a name of somebody who works at NEIP as communications for the institution, but okay, the list of friend is saying data from the presidency.
Because offices under the office of the president.
National Identification Authority. Into Ubekono, Salis the Ukraine, National Education Authority communications guy na PRO no, or Kasa presidency data no, into 1 year, Obefi say, or to Jubilee House. But only institutions are a year under the office of the president. We know these things. These are official documents. These are documents that are out there in the public. All we need to do is we want to do the spin. We can do it. But let's tell them the truth first. Okay? I remember our last scenario be on this issue of size of number of ministers. Obi, For the optics there, for the optics. Say na and say your minister say, but it doesn't save anybody any money. Obi say Kojo Ponkruma, or your MP for Ofasa ye be honorable Kojo Ponkruma. No, your minister for information. Who say on G salary as minister of information. It is a ne who you Kojo Ponkruma as minister of information krana. Sika abusumi biya controller na Ghana ban you tell on a salary no and one ebit. Let me give you another scenario. If there is an argument that we should merge information and communication ministry, okay, Obi, we merge information and communication ministry. It doesn't mean say bakwejuma wejayo. Until be one merge until your minister bakupe and a woho. But ejuma na communications ministry, a woho is some no, and one on bed ombeye. Ejuma information ministry as a non ombeye. The entire staff of the communication ministry, the entire staff of the information ministry, they remain. At the moment, if you say we should merge information and communication with the current arrangement, it means that you are going to save only 2 MPs from being ministers. But you haven't saved any cost on them because every month. And no one honorable Eslowusuni Poma, honorable Poma, Omoji. It took us on your communication minister beam. Now what you need in Kujo Ponkroma cra. Still, ano, Sabo Sumiaka to be the man honorable Eslano, and no obey Obeji. And let me tell you something. Senka ene, as I say, honorable Esla's communication minister. Otukwano Tamale, na oko inspect rural telephony project via. The facts only one, and say director via or communications side hono would go and tell the communication information minister say, oh, yeah, telephony inspection into Obefaka no then. Now it is not as if the work would remain. So in its actual sense, if you are advocating for something like that, which is not for if it's not for the purposes of political optics there, then we are asking for these public servants to be laid off.
But say Obi a MP no say a minister. In him say ministers Aketriano was struck.
No, that's not actually under this government. No. Yes, that's a matter of fact.
MPs and ministers, the
same
cabinet ministers,
yes,
the same salary
actually
as
under this,
MPs.
Yes, please.
You know that for a fact.
Oh, as a matter of fact,
for somebody like Esla, no, our cabinet minister,
on extra money,
on your top up,
Debbie. As a matter of fact, in fact, Okofa, a friend is saying, even the report that was done, say emolument from possible year between 2017 and no point I said top up kakane insignificant. Some were not even up to 1,000. But under this particular regime, there's no top up. Obi, unim to say under this government, 30% of the appointees, almost salary has been taken off.
No, almost salary, 30% every so and after 30% of
the. He has been taken off.
No, me about
Abayaji.
Okay, baby.
No, but 30%
of the appointees. And as appointees need in our salary na 30%.
I may say 30% of who appointing was salary.
Okay.
Yes. Yaji, it means that if you were earning 1,000 Ghana cedis, now you are earning 700 Ghana cedis. That is a policy that His Excellency the President has already announced.
So how
sound common. Then what we are really, you, the person you are really advocating for, so saying political optics there, then you're asking for layoffs of public sector workers. You go for presidency here, may say, and I'm giving you the figures. Under John Dramani Mahama, they had a total of 897 staff. Out of that 897, 712 were public servants. And Nana Adudanko Ekufuado, we have a total of 995 staff. Out of that 995 staff, 658 are public servants. They are not politicians. Omono, Dr. Baumiaba, 2025 January, or office wa sang for no. Dr. Baumia appointment obey no, it doesn't affect Sankrofu. There are people National Service Office of the President, no more National Service no mudia grow, Office of the President Castle and Nakufono. There are some people are Yakoto more Castle. And then Noko Jubilee House. They still work there, they are still there. They are still in the accounts department. They are still in the IT department. They are stenographers. Some are under parks and gardens and all of that. Until we should situate that conversation well. But for the ranking member of health in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana to sit on TV and say, Abai has a large size government and that there are 1,000 presidential staffers at the presidency, it is a complete lie. It is a falsehood. And I feel, say, I have the obligation as a Ghanaian to set the record straight.
Okay.
And yeah, no more say, any defend. Obi, me, I don't defend. I clarify. That's my job. If you accuse me of defending, then I say you're also attacking. So why are you always also attacking? Our job as politicians is to ensure, say, once we lead the country, we clarify issue, educate them. It is not a matter of attack and defense. It's an intellectual space where we share divergent views and ideas and ensure at the end of the day, we take decisions that will go to the benefit of our people.
Okay.
I just wanted to set that record that it's a complete lie. It is a falsehood. We don't have 1,000 presidential staffers and Nana President Mahama had 61 presidential staffers. Nanado has 44 presidential staffers. President Mahama had 6 ministers of state. Nanado has 1 minister of state at the presidency.